Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Stock of the Week, and we're going over Novo Nordisk, and it's up double the S&P over 5 years, but it's losing ground fast. And let's take a look. And remember, folks, if you want to be on this beach like Jimmy Buffett used to be, then you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And Novo Nordisk, well, we know, major producer of weight loss insulin, and that's where we are, right there, weight loss and insulin, diabetes care products, as well as treatments for coagulation disorders and hormone replacement therapy. Share of global diabetes care market, 34%. 2023 sales by region, North America, 34%. Emerging countries, 22%, China, 7%, 64,000 employees. Wow, that's a big company, folks. Now, here's some things to note that are relatively new. The September period, net growth sales grew 24% year over year. Wow, that's amazing. North American sales up 23%. International sales 22% up. Global obesity care sales grew 55%. Problem is, competition widens and management narrowed its sales growth targets for 2024 and now 2025. So this is what happened to the stock. But let's look at the 5-year average numbers. Blue lines represent the average stock in our database, which is about 600-700 stocks, and the green lines are Novo Nordisk. So we can see that the clean surplus return on equity, which is a comparable return on equity, double that of the average stock out there. Net income, not quite double the average stock out there, but it certainly is up there. Revenue almost tripling the average stock out there. So, folks, this is a pretty good company looking over 5 years, but let's take a closer look at single years. And when we look at this number in here, 2024, the net income was $320, but that is down from $3.42. Remember, we said management lowered its expectations for the end of 2024 and 2025. So this was notched down a bit. And for 2025, this used to be $4.30 expected, but management reduced that down to approximately $3.65. So we come over here, we look at retention rate. Now, this is something we look at in a growth stock. We want to see stocks that have 100% retention rate. In other words, a growth stock will be taking all the money it's making and putting it back into itself in order to grow, where Novo is looking at about a 5-year average of about 58%, let's call it 60% for 2024, 2025. So we're looking at this as not a pure growth stock, but still it did very, very well for a while. Now, net income this year, again, we're looking at a drop from the average. These are the averages we looked at in the last slide, but we can see that the net income growth is declining or has declined from the 5-year average. Revenue growth is still the same, so that's pretty good. About a 1.8% dividend. Now, let's look at the 1 year, and Novo's big competition is Eli Lilly. And so we put Eli Lilly on this chart. 1 year, black line is the S&P 500, which is the benchmark that we look at. And Novo is this yellow line, and we can see it has declined almost 30% over the past year. Eli Lilly the blue line has kept pace with the S&P 500 and in fact slightly outperforming it. Plus it has a nice dividend and it's up about 20% right now. So we can see that Novo and Lilly were following each other up to here. And let's look at a 5-year chart and see how they have both done. But this past year, Novo has really hit the skids because of competition from guess who? Eli Lilly is their biggest competitor. So over 5 years, we're looking at it. We can see the blue and the yellow lines really were outpacing the S&P 500 right up until in here. And this is 2023. 2024, and here is the first part of 2025. So we could see that Eli Lilly started pulling pulling away. And then all of a sudden, Novo took a big dive where Eli Lilly pretty much stayed the same in here. So this is what we're looking at. The big competition from Novo is Eli Lilly. Now, the question is, do we buy Novo because it has declined so much here? And the answer is, well, if Lilly is doing the same thing, and boy, as soon as you mention weight loss, everybody goes crazy because that's what everybody wants to do. Take a pill, lose the weight. And folks, that's not the way to do it. There's got to be some kind of exercise involved there. Remember the old cardio. Okay, so Eli Lilly seems to have the ball rolling, and it is doing better, and people expect more of it. But it has kind of flattened out in here, hasn't it? But Novo has taken a big dive. Now, we had a chance to buy Novo way back couple of years ago when we said, well, we have Lilly and the two companies are pretty much the same, so we'll stick with Lilly. Didn't get into Novo, came very, very close. We would have done well, but this past year, no. And the question is, do we buy it in here? Because it looks like it has settled out and it is starting to base out. But during this time, look what Lilly did. It just took off like a rocket. So do we buy Novo? I think we'll stick with Eli Lilly, and it's not one or the other. And we have other stocks in our portfolio, and this is the dividend growth and income portfolio that I'm talking about. And so we'll stay with Lilly in that. And I don't think we will look at this later on and see if the stock is actually basing out. We'll look at the technicals a little closer because their growth is still great. The problem is it's slowing down. And when the market sees growth, no matter how big it is, slowing down, then they just sell the stock off. Look what they did with NVIDIA. NVIDIA was up 70%, over 70% year over year. And I'm talking about their growth rate in sales, and yet they got hit by the market tremendously just the other day. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at with Novo. We'll stick with Lilly, and we'll see if this is a buying opportunity, but it won't be today, and maybe in a couple of weeks, who knows. But it is a growing company, and we'll just see how it does. So, folks, we had a rough week these past couple of weeks in the market. Novo has had a rough past year. So Lilly is keeping on pace. Lilly is doing the job right now and outselling Novo. So therefore, we'll stay with Lilly. But again, we had a tough week, and things will get better, folks. We're in growth mode over here in the States, and we will go out this weekend. Yeah, it's the weekend. Let's go out and forget about the market, because guess what? It'll be back here on Monday. So you go out, you stay safe, be with your loved ones, and folks, we'll see you right back here in a couple of days.